Hey, what's up?
I can't do this anymore.
Can't do what anymore?
These videos, these predictions.
Why?
Because, Rene, we keep making these predictions only to be wrong. Week after week, video after video, we keep thinking this leads us to being right, but it doesn't.
That's what predictions are. We always can't be right.
No, Rene, you don't get it. This is too much.
What are you trying to say?
I need to go. Here's your key back. I wish you well, friend.
I never gave him a key to the store. Where does this even go?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Keeping up with the nerds here. Keeping up with WandaVision series finale. I'm Rene. Unfortunately, Bryan is not here because we have some sad news. He has took it upon himself to exit here the rest of the videos now. So I'll be doing all the videos now from now on. And that's just how it is.
One more. And that's all. You ready to rock this?
Let's do it.
WandaVision episode 9. Yes, the series finale, just like Rene said, and what a banger it was for you.
Yes.
Yes, for me, it's a completely different story. Why? Let me tell you. So, episode 9. Actually, you know what? Should I go first or should you go first?
You know what? I think I should go first.
Go for it. Yeah. So, banger for you because
I actually like this series finale. It was actually pretty good. It was a good wrap up for especially, obviously, Wanda's character. We finally get to see her become the character that we've always wanted her to see, always be the actual Scarlet Witch. And I did enjoy how everything was lightly tied up at the end. Didn't get a lot that I'd wanted, but overall, I was pretty satisfied with everything.
Okay. In terms of everything that was like revealed, you know, we got episode 8, which was basically kind of like tying up all the loose ends.
Yeah.
And episode 9 was pretty much putting the bow on top of this present and saying like, here you go.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you're going to be getting for the end of WandaVision. You felt satisfied, right?
I was.
Did you feel like every loose end was tied up, or do you feel like maybe they could have done a little bit better in some portions?
I think for me, it would have to, one thing, if anything, would have to probably be maybe Darcy's character.
Okay.
I felt like they could have done something else with her, you know, than the whole like, oh, debriefings are boring, you know? So, but other than that, I still enjoyed it overall.
Okay. So why did I not think it was a banger? Let me tell you, Rene, and everyone else watching this video. So, not to say that this wasn't one of the better episodes. I think it is still a pretty good episode overall. And it's a series, you know, it is a pretty damn good series released by Disney and Marvel Studios. I have no complaints there. But I do feel like episode 9 was a little bit underwhelming in the sense that a lot of the, you know, loose ends that were supposedly needed to be, which supposedly were, oh man, I can't even speak English, which supposedly needed to be tied up by this episode kind of felt like they were quickly rushed up and didn't have a proper explanation. Granted, I will say this, you know, most of our videos were pretty much filled up with our predictions and saying, you know, hey, this is what we believe will happen next. This is what we believe will happen in the end. Perfect example. We kept saying that episode 7 was going to be an hour long. Then we said episodes 8 and 9. Then we said just episode 9. And episode 9 came out with only 50 minutes. So, you know, we were wrong saying that they were going to be hour-long episodes and it was going to be split up into a two-parter. 100% wrong, and we do take responsibility for putting up a lot of wrong predictions out there. But that's just it. They're predictions, you know, we could assume that they're right.
Yeah.
We could assume that they're wrong, you know. It is what it is. That isn't the reason as to why it did feel underwhelming for me. I felt like there were a lot of missed opportunities that Kevin Feige and crew pretty much didn't take advantage of. I completely understand that this is their own take and their own storyline, and they want to do with what they want to do with the show. But perfect example of where the loose ends didn't really feel like they were tied up properly is with Evan Peters as Quicksilver.
Yeah.
We pretty much saw that this was just a normal dude that goes by the name of Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Boner. That was a good part.
That was
but it just kind of felt like, we were alluded, we were led to believe that this character was supposed to mean something when in fact it just didn't really mean anything.
It didn't go anywhere.
No, it didn't. And at the end of it, we didn't get anything from it. We don't see him. We just see Monica pretty much leaving his place of living, and that was it.
At that point, it's like, then why did you even cast Evan Peters?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of like, why go through all that effort?
Exactly. Again, it just felt weak. It felt like all these reveals were just kind of just put on the table and says like, here's your answer to this question. Here's your answer to that question. And you're going to get this answer right here. Pretty much all the explanations just kind of felt like hand-me-downs, and they didn't necessarily feel like impactful moments.
Yeah.
At least I didn't feel so.
I see what you're coming from.
Was that.
No, I see what you're coming from.
Yeah. Again, this is just pretty much my take on it. This isn't to say that people that are enjoyed it.
Our opinion.
Yes, keep stressing that fact because I feel like people are going to get mad at me for saying like, you're 100% wrong.
No!
How dare you speak up? Stop it! Again, this is just my take on it, and it was a little bit underwhelming, but like I said before, as a series entirely, it was a pretty damn good one. I am satisfied by it.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't to say that this episode was completely underwhelming. I still feel like there were a lot of really great components. I'll mention two. The Vision on Vision fight, and specifically the Ship of Theseus line.
Oh,
that line was fantastic.
That was so good. That was such great dialogue. Oh my god.
I want to know who the writer for this episode was, because there were so many perfect quotable lines.
Listen, even if you don't know about that ship, the way that they were talking about it, you still get what they were referencing.
It made you feel smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the smart club.
I understood what this guy meant. No, it was good, and I really enjoyed that because it gave kind of like an intellectual ending to a Vision on Vision fight.
Definitely.
It was really good, and we still, again, another loose end here. We don't know what happened to White Vision.
That's true. We don't know if it's actually him or if it's like kind of like they're pulling like a RoboCop, where it's like he comes back to life, but he only has the memories, and that's it. Yes. No personality. It's like, I have the memories of Vision, but I'm not really Vision.
We can keep making all these predictions and assumptions and say like, oh, well, like Rene said, it could be just the memories but no personality.
Yeah.
Or they can completely pull the rug under us and say like, hey, you know what? This is the exact same Vision Wanda knew since before Infinity Wars and stuff like that.
Yes.
We don't know, because at this point, we keep making predictions that end up being wrong anyways. It doesn't make any sense, right? But it does make sense. I'm sorry. It's just, it hurt that we were just wrong week after week, and oh my god, dude, that's just god.
I mean, it's not only us, it's just fans in general. So many fans were pushing the whole Mephisto thing. We believed it as well too. We were like, Mephisto has to be part of it, when really it was all Wanda, and Agatha only felt the power that Wanda presented while bringing in the Hex.
Yes.
And she was only interested in taking Wanda's power.
Yes.
That was the only thing that she was interested in at all.
Yeah.
We were all thinking maybe she's working for Mephisto, or maybe she doesn't know she's working for Mephisto. Nope, and no.
Nothing was right.
Yeah.
We're just, we were right on some components, but like when you take a 95% blow where you're just completely wrong on a lot of different things and the other 5% is right, most people are going to look at you and be like, yeah, you need to shut up. No, we won't. We're going to keep making these videos. Right?
Yes.
So, like I said, this isn't to say there were really some good components of this episode. For me personally, the big just fantastic part was the reveal of Scarlet Witch's costume. Let me tell you, I'm in love. By Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh no, I'm in love.
No. I like Elizabeth Olsen, but I'm in love with that costume. Mm-hmm. Like
that was a really good way they brought. Like the way it looked, really cool. It wasn't too bright. No. It was very, very kind of like calming look, and it wasn't flashy or anything, but it was still still looks like that's the Scarlet
It was
Witch.
true to comic book without it being so true to comic book.
Yeah.
It was a modernized take of Wanda's costume as the Scarlet Witch, which was fantastic. The detailing on the crown and the full-on like dress get up with the cape when she flew away with the hood. It was perfect. I adore that costume. I am in love. Elizabeth Olsen, I love you and I like you. You're a great actress, but the costume took the cake for me.
Yes.
I'm in love. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm in love with that costume.
And I think that was the moment that even Elizabeth Olsen said in interviews that there was going to be like how The Mandalorian was at the end of the season, where it was going to be a Luke Skywalker moment. Basically, that was the moment where we saw the full-fledged first look at Wanda becoming Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
and I think that's what she was talking about.
I think that's where I have the problem is that, that's probably where my underwhelming attitude is coming from, is that there was that much hype to say, like, this is a Luke Skywalker moment. This is an actor I want to work with for so long, and I get this opportunity. It leads us to assume to so many different things, and at the end, it just didn't matter because we got presented this. Yeah. Again, nothing wrong. The producers know what they're doing.
The show is called WandaVision.
Yeah, this is a story of Wanda's rise to becoming the Scarlet Witch and her, personifying who she actually is, which is good. Yes. Rene, let me ask you something. Are we ready to do one last round of predictions for this?
I think we are.
Yes. So, according to Kevin Feige and crew, Wanda's storyline has not concluded. This will continue on into Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yay!
There's a lot of it because, they did name drop Doctor Strange.
The Sorcerer Supreme. They mentioned that, yeah.
So, there is a mention there, and we now know, in a way, that there are 3 forms of magic. That there is Agatha's Covenant, the Scarlet Witch's form of magic, which is above the Sorcerer Supreme, who supposedly we are led to believe is the almighty powerful being.
Chaotic magic.
Yes, it's top of the line, top tier, but even chaos magic is more powerful than that.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this. Do you have any predictions on what Wanda's storyline is going to look like into Phase 4? Because we're going to assume that we're going to continue Wanda's storyline into into Doctor Strange 2, but we could see her earlier, in different iterations.
We could see her maybe in Loki. We don't know. Maybe or maybe not. That's another prediction we'll probably be wrong at. But I believe for Wanda's narrative moving forward is that she's gonna basically try, because we get a little after credits of what
we get two, a mid and a post.
So I will be talking about the last after credits, the post credit scene, where basically we see Wanda in a field out in the mountains, and she's by herself, and she's learning the book. Was it the
Darkhold?
The Darkhold, yeah. Where basically she's learning all her stuff that she can do, all her abilities, and we hear her children yelling, crying out to her. Then she goes, or I don't know, maybe she does something. I think moving forward, she's gonna try and bring her children to life.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the mid-credit scene, or you have no idea?
No, I do.
Okay.
I can talk about that.
I would suggest you talk about this because I'm gonna be honest, I am a little bit upset at that one. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Overall, I didn't like the mid-credit scene, not because what you guys think. I think that could have been implemented in the show, not as a mid-credit scene, though. But basically, the mid-credit scene is that, an agent comes up to Monica and basically says, we gotta talk. There's someone here needs to talk to you. And then it's revealed that that agent is a Skrull and works for Nick Fury. And Nick Fury wants to meet her now and tell her what's going on and stuff in space, apparently. So that's where she's gonna go into Captain Marvel 2.
Okay, so you think the person that the Skrull was referring to was Nick Fury?
Yes.
Okay, that's also what my fiance said. Shout out to her for saying that.
Hey!
I had a problem with it, and I'll explain why I had a problem with it. I know we're going to cut it close to another 20-minute episode. I'm going to try to speed through this. Before I move on to my predictions, you did point out a piece of news to me.
Yes.
That they are working on a new film.
Kevin
supposedly.
Feige has announced that he is working on a movie called Mutants, which will be the first introduction or the moving forward phase of bringing in mutants and X-Men characters to the MCU.
Okay, so with that said, I'm going to jump into my predictions now.
Okay.
So I'm going to start the same way you did. We're going to work from the final end credit scene and kind of discuss where Wanda's journey is going to lead from there. It kind of does seem like Wanda's slowly going to try to figure herself out. We can obviously tell that from the end credit scene when she's studying the book from the Darkhold and seeing what her magic is like, given that she has no knowledge of what's going on. There were key little points that Agatha was discussing with Wanda when she said that she was in a way created. So maybe a spell was casted on her. Something happened that made her have these powers. So she was born with it, but this could be either from her line.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
Maybe she is born with this. Maybe, from a young age, she was casted with a spell that allowed her to become the Scarlet Witch, or something happened that allowed her to pass down to have these Scarlet Witch powers. That's one prediction there. So I think that we won't see her in any of these movies. Definitely we're going to see her in Doctor Strange 2, and it's going to be Stephen Strange teaching her the ways of chaos magic. The Sorcerer Supreme now has to learn and figure out what this means and how she fits into this, into this universe. Now, will Wanda be bad? Yes and no. I don't think she's going to be a full-on villain.
No.
I think that this discussion, is she a hero, or is she a heroine, or is she a villain, it kind of needs to be put in this gray area where she's going to be misunderstood. Very emotional, very tragic events have happened to her, and she just wants things to be right.
And I think we get that in this whole series wrap up, especially at the end where she closes the hex, and then you see all the townspeople and the way they're looking at her, where we know that she didn't mean to do this, but at the same time, she understands how they feel towards her.
Exactly.
She understands they were suffering, but she thought they were safe. But at the same time, she was kind of mentally torturing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she was doing this for herself.
Yes.
And in the end, it was just misunderstood. So at any point, there's multiple points where she feels like she needs to do this for herself, and she constantly needs to give up things that she's bringing forward to make herself feel better.
Yeah.
And she's just not getting rewarded for it.
She's
right?
not. Yeah, she's suffering more.
Exactly. Yeah. So the end. I kind of get a feeling that Mephisto. I'm putting it on the table.
Mephisto, people.
Mephisto is still coming.
Boom.
Yes. Mephisto is still probably something that's like it's there. It's there.
He's there.
I know he's there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be coming up somehow. And I feel it's because Wanda's gonna try to figure out a way to bring her kids back.
I just got something. You know the swan that was like in the red smoke? We never got an answer for that.
No, that's another loose end.
That's a loose end. Unless someone can comment down below and tell me if they can connect that to Agatha, but it has to be plausible.
Yes.
Don't just say it connects to Agatha. You got to give me evidence. Evidence.
Relax.
Sorry.
In terms of the mid-credit scene, again, I'm on the same boat. It did not need to be a mid-credit scene. I'm sorry, because it was a tease that led to just another loose end.
Yeah.
Who is she referring to? Up there. Okay, Nick Fury. Obvious answer. But for me personally, it feels like Nick Fury is a safe bet. Why Nick Fury? We've seen him enough. Not that we don't want to see him anymore, but maybe introduce a new character. You have different assets now, different IPs.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four and mutants are now going to be in Phase 4 because of the 20th Century acquisition.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make sense to introduce Reed Richards at this point or something like that?
At some point, we have to.
Yeah, at this point, yes. Unless Disney doesn't feel comfortable enough putting in these characters in these shows and movies because they don't really have solid, production ready for a Fantastic Four movie or a Mutants movie. So that could be it. Now, in terms of Evan Peters as Quicksilver, I have a feeling that he is in fact a mutant.
Okay.
Because they stress so much on the Ralph Boner need. We don't get him anymore after Monica leaves his place of residence.
Yeah.
What makes him so specific? Maybe we were wrong. Maybe he isn't the Quicksilver that belongs in the X-Men universe. Maybe this is completely different. But this isn't to say that he has these abilities because he's a mutant. Monica and Ralph were both having a discussion, and it kind of seemed in a way that Ralph wasn't necessarily being controlled by Agatha, nor was it kind of seeming like he was a creation of Agatha.
Yeah.
This kind of felt like it was his own thing. He was doing his own his actions were his own.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Even though Agatha was manipulating him to move forward, and visit Wanda in her place of residency, this isn't to say that his actions thereafter are his own. The speedster qualities, again, this could be a mutation, and this is probably one of the early mutants that we see.
Yeah.
An introductory, so that's pretty much what I have on that, is that Ralph will be a mutant and Evan Peters will continue on forward in phase 4 of the MCU.
right.
We haven't seen the end of him, so
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
it. I will also say that we were wrong on the whole, maybe it's a different Scarlet Witch when she came out of the Mind Stone and stuff like that. No, that we suck.
Retract that.
And cross that off our list. Another reason we're wrong. So, with that said, I think I'm done. Episode 9, the series finale. Pretty much a solid title that says no more WandaVision. This is the one hit wonder. WandaVision show is done. No season 2. Right? Maybe WandaVision will come back as a different title.
Maybe.
Series revival or something.
Or just Scarlet Witch, we'll have another series.
Exactly. As for Vision, we probably won't see him until later down the line, but I don't think Vision and Wanda will have any form of interaction until probably the end of Phase 4.
Could be. Maybe in an Avengers movie, yeah.
Yes. Do you have anything else to add before we wrap this up?
No, I'm pretty good.
I'm good as well. So, we are finished with WandaVision, but in about 2 weeks, or 2 or 3, we are getting Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
Do I run that bit again? Captain Falcon.
Now, this time we will be doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so in about 2 weeks. So if we don't come out with a video in next week, it's just because we're waiting for that. It's just up to whatever we want to plan and what we feel like we need to do. But keep your eyes open. The podcast is still going to be running every Wednesday at 11:30, wherever you get your audio, on whatever platform you use, Spotify, Google Podcasts.
And do expect
Podbean.
that our podcast, we will be reviewing Mortal Kombat, King Kong versus Godzilla, and also the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
So that is all going to be on there. Those are pretty heavy hitters, so they will be on the podcast.
Yes.
As for where you guys can find us, we do have an Instagram and Twitter right over here that you can follow us. Please follow there. If you like what you saw here, like, share the video, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the bits and the things that we do before the videos? What do you think of WandaVision as a whole? Let us know, because we will shout you out in future videos if we do see those comments. And with that said, ready to wrap this up?
Yes.
This was Keeping Up with the Nerds with the series finale of WandaVision Episode 9. My name is Bryan.
Rene.
And we'll see you all in the next one.